Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 5th of February. So let's start off looking at the euro dollar. And what's the euro dollar up to? Well, yesterday another down day. It looks a bit bleak at the moment. Is it going to continue back south again? We'll see. It's already 4 hours below the weekly pivot there. It's back to these prior lows here, knocking on a door maybe for a breakdown. Just needs to be a bit careful. There's not a lot of pips obviously to the breakdown. See how far that breakdown really goes. It's certainly slowed down. We've seen a slowing down of the movement yesterday. For a long period it was only about 20 pips. It did obviously pick up beyond that, but it's kind of slow currency. At the moment you'd just be looking at this low highs, low lows, these break bottoms here, and think, well, maybe it should be on the short side. Possible targets potentially back to prior lows down here at 10.18 potentially. So yep, there's some possibility in that. It changed though, and a break above the short-term highs here. Well, maybe back to the pivot, the 50, 60-minute 50, but it really does look a bit bleak for the euro at the moment. Now the pound, it's dancing all over the place here. It's switching backwards and forwards. The daily probably sets it pretty much up. There isn't any significant trend, so maybe on some of these moves need to be looking at just trading within the expanding channel as it seems to be at the moment. I did put this trend line on across the lows here. It was someone suggested there was a decent trend line, and sure enough there is a decent trend line. Didn't quite hit it yesterday actually. It came slightly short of that, but it was significant buying coming in before then, so it's significant enough there. But in this current range, well, what for today, not so clear. We're dancing all over the place. If we do start pushing up, we've got this massive moving averages which may provide some resistance. Depends how quick things move. They are pretty flat because of the way the price has been chopping backwards and forwards over the last few weeks here. The moving averages are all sitting there quite flat, and often when they're as flat as that, well, price just chops through them as it has previously back here and here, here, right the way through them. So we'll see, but on a quieter day it may just provide resistance. Currently we've come up short of the daily pivot here, but it's trying to push up higher. Maybe it's as I say, trying to get back into that range, further into the range, away from yesterday's lows. We'll see. Certainly very iffy. The risk sort of sits there. Dollar yen, well, let's come out onto dailies, onto dollar yen, but certainly softening up. Continued pushing up yesterday, selling off a little bit at the moment, pulling back. Maybe if it gets to a certain certain level, but maybe the 21 or something like this on the 4 hours, it maybe gives sufficient, or even the daily pivot here to have a potential bounce. The only thing is, as it's coming down here, it's not the cleanest of moves. Lower highs may suggest even a bigger correction, but on the hourlies here, if it does break through there, well, potentially support around that 5200 if it's quick enough. We'll see. Aussie dollar, well, the Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Lowe spoke early hours this morning, and basically they're not really willing to cut rates at this stage. However, there's the potential if the employment data doesn't improve. So it's really employment data becomes really key, and a lot more focus on it. So we'll be watching for that. In terms of the price action here, good solid day yesterday, just run through into its weekly pivot and into the daily 8 there at the moment, but is it going to continue? Actually, the way it's moved up here on this 4 hourly with the bars quite slow but solid, it would be interesting to see if we can stop hand railing this 50 and break through it. Maybe it could be on for the weekly R1. Let's just come down to the shorter time frames here, and you see it's just air kiss the 60-minute 200 on this price. choppy around here at the moment. It's bitty. It was like this yesterday morning when I was looking at it around here. It had its surge, choppy. Looked like at one stage it was going to fail all the way over, but picked itself up. We'll see how it runs today, but some time frames it's a bit mixed, to be fair. Some time frames it looks a bit better than others. Canadian dollar. So the Canadian dollar's back into this sort of, or pretty close to these levels of resistance previously reached, and we had trouble sort of getting through them at that stage. Whether it'll break this time, we'll see. But it's certainly soft against the US dollar here. I mean, we have got untouched weekly pivots below, so any big correction we could see these figures, these numbers hit, but we may have to wait until non-farm pay rolls on Friday. If only I could say that. Okay, so pushing up at the moment, but it dripped off yesterday. It rolled over yesterday a little bit there, back to its 50. May see a similar thing happen later as we carry on, but not the most obvious. New Zealand dollar, I'll just cover this briefly because it's not having such a good time of things. It did have a reasonable bullish engulfing yesterday, and you think, well, hang on a minute, that's a good reversal, and perhaps this is it now. It's going to find some support and carry it to the upside. But coming down the time frames, it just literally got into that weekly pivot, or near the weekly pivot, and failed from there. So the next test from it, if it does push up, is into that 50. If it can break the 4-hourly 50, maybe we are on for a better correction, but does look soft here still, and really in a solid downtrend. Okay, news-wise today then. Today we've got President Trump has done his speech, hasn't it, too? So that's finished. It's all glory. The pound, we've got final services PMI today. Now, we've had services PMI, the flash data out last week. These final figures now, we barely saw any movement, even though it's slightly improved on the manufacturing yesterday, but or the day before yesterday actually. But we'll see how services do. They expect to come in at 52.9. We've got the ECB President Lagarde speaking at 12:15. Possibly volatility around there. We've already had a speaker earlier in the week giving a real dovish view. We've got ADP non-farm payrolls. They don't move too much, the markets these days, but although highlighted in red on the Forex Factory, etc. But ADP non-farm payrolls may give us a bit of volatility around 115. Aside of that, then we've got to wait until 3 o'clock for the services data, or non-manufacturing data from the US. So that's pretty much it. So I wish you a great day. Bye for now.